How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? I appreciate you stopping in today. Today we have an angry American. I'm angry in that Washington, D.C. has got its head in its rectum. Our President Donald Trump has tried to go in there and drain that swamp, but the lower that swamp water gets, the more monsters come crawling out. Now, I am just about had it up to here now with the crap that's going on down there. Now, you've got these people that think that their fecal material has no odor because they've won a popularity contest and have been voted into public office. And then once they get to public office, they forget all about who got them there. I mean, let's face it. How many of these senators and congressmen, women, you know, how many really care about you? I'd say you probably count them all on one hand, maybe. And I don't understand. I mean, honestly, I do not understand why our elected officials want to take the tax money that they collect from us hardworking Americans and give our money to other countries. I don't understand it. And I ain't talking about a few $1,000s. I'm talking billions of dollars. They're wanting to give 1.5 billion or so to Egypt so they can go over and buy Russian weapons. Oh my God, the least you could do is say you got to buy our weapons, but no. They're wanting to send money to every Central American country there is. They want to send money to a whole bunch of African countries. They're wanting to send money all over the place. While we have American veterans sleeping on a concrete sidewalk, sleeping under bridges, no homes, suffering from mental illness, suffering from injuries seen and not seen. Yet our elected officials go ahead and send money to other countries instead of taking care of our people. It sickens me to no end to see what happens with these. I'm not making this a partisan issue because there's winners and losers in both of the major parties. But it just irks me to no end that you've got these people that's making $130,000 a year. And it takes them 9 months to decide to give us a little pittance of $600 each. This ain't right, folks. It's not right. And I'm not here going to try to sing praises of Donald Trump. I am, however, singing praises of a president that is willing to stand up and say, no, I'm not going to sign a bill that sends billions of dollars overseas and sends millions of dollars to take care of this and do that and do all kinds of stuff when we have American citizens whose businesses are going under. What happened? What happened to our freedom? The last I checked, nobody was holding a gun to my head that said I had to go eat at a restaurant. Nobody's forcing me to do anything. But we are Americans. And we are supposed to be the freest country in the world. And if we choose to say, I'd much rather not go out to eat. I'm not comfortable going out to eat. Fine. But because you're uncomfortable going out to eat, doesn't mean that I can't go out to eat. And these governors, these mayors, they just come out with this just off the wall stuff. Well, we got to keep people apart. Nobody can go out to eat. If you're going to go anywhere, you got to wear a mask. And if you're going to go out to eat, you got to have a mask on. You pull it up, take a bite, pull the mask back on. Come on. It's ignorance. Ignorant. In no way whatsoever, and am I trying to say that this COVID is not some serious virus. I mean, we have a serious pandemic on our hands. People are dying left and right. But people die from heart disease, people die from Alzheimer's, people die from kidney failure, people die from the influenza, people die from cancer, people die from heart disease, people die from all kinds of different things. People die because they get too fat. Does that mean we're going to outlaw spoons and forks? Speaking of outlawing stuff, outlawing guns. Who in the world thinks they have the right to come into my house and tell me I cannot have a gun to defend myself and my family? We've got some politicians out there that want to tax you. $200 for every weapon, $200 for every magazine, all kinds of crap. All it is the way to grab guns and to make you susceptible to their moronic preaching. They want to turn you into a sheep or a lemming, and you follow the one in front of you and just, if this guy jumps off a cliff, are you going to jump off a cliff? Yes, because that's what I was told to do. I was told to follow the leader, and the leader says jump, so I must jump. I don't think so, people. My goodness. Our southern borders. We're about to have a change in our political arena. We're about to have Democrats taking over the White House and different facets of our government. And we've got a bozo that decides what he's going to do is he's going to use identity politics. And that right there is that is a prime example of racist type behavior. You hear people crying all the time, oh, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. Well, what do you call it when you say that we're going to put a person in this office, but only if this person is a certain gender, or only if this person is transgender, or only if this person is this color or that gender? Or they got to have this type of hair. They've got to believe this way. They've got to believe that. Whatever happened to, you look at a resume and you find the most qualified person for that job. That's who I want to hire. When I had a business, if I hired somebody, I wanted them to be the absolute best I could afford. I wanted them to know their job. I wanted them to excel at that job. Because my money was paying them. And folks, our money is paying the wages of all these people that our president-elect is assigning to office. Going to put this person in charge of that person in charge of that, and this mayor from Indiana in charge of this, and they don't have a clue what they're doing. They don't have a clue. And it's aggravating. all the naysayers out there said, President Trump is pipe dreaming. He's got pipe dreams if he thinks he's going to get him a vaccine before the end of the year. He's just lying to the American public. He's lying, lying, lying. Really? Looks like we got 2 of them now, don't it, folks? Before the end of the year. And people are getting vaccinations as we speak. But that lamestream media, they run a number on him, I got to tell you. So we've got this bill that has over 5,000 pages in it. And it's got all this pork. And I want to know why. I want to know why we cannot force our elected officials to put whatever bill they want, whatever they want to pass, make it 1 page. 1 page. And then vote for that 1 page. You say, hey, I want $1,500 per person. I want $1,000 per person. I want $500 per kid or whatever to receive a little stimulus money so we can get this economy going. And that'd be all that's on that page. And then your senators and your Congress people, they vote on that. And they say, yes, okay, that's what we want. We want, and that's the only thing we're going to bargain on, and that's the only thing we're going to haggle on and negotiate on is how much. And once you come up with the figure, then they sign. It's all one piece of paper. Now, 1 piece of paper goes to the president. He looks at it and says, "Yep, okay." You can sign it, and it's easy to understand, and easy for you and me to understand. But oh no, no, no. These words are famously spoken. Well, you have to pass it before you get the chance to read it. We got to pass it first. You can read it later. I wouldn't I wouldn't sign the papers on a used car if I hadn't read the paperwork first. Yeah, I remember when I was a young man, I had a car salesman bring me a contract to buy a car, and he just had it folded over. He said, just sign right there. We got you covered. Folded up all the stuff there, how much it was, what the payments was, what the interest rate, all that, what the damn, everything. He said, just sign right here. And after you sign, he opens it up and says, I got him. That's craziness. But that's exactly what the people in Washington, D.C. are trying to do. The people in Washington, D.C. are trying to hoodwink you, folks. They're trying to throw a hood over your face and just have you sign blindly and just follow along blindly with whatever they think ought to be done. They're wanting to give $1,800 to illegal inhabitants of the United States. $1,800 to illegal aliens, people that have come to this country illegally. They're wanting to give $1,800 of our tax dollars to each and every one of them. But you, Mr. and Mrs. American citizen, you, Mr. and Mrs. tax-paying American citizen, we'll give you $600. How's that? Let's give these illegals over here. Let's give them $1,800 each. The ones that crossed the border illegally, the ones that snuck in here under the cover of darkness, and started taking these low-paying jobs, and then moved on up, started taking some higher-paying jobs, and left my brothers and sisters homeless on the streets and under the bridges because they can't afford to have a roof over their head. I knew a lot of farmers in Idaho that had a lot of mobile homes set up on their farms. And these migrant workers that would come in to work the fields and produce the crops and work the dairy farms work all types of farm and agricultural products and services. They have mobile homes for them set up, or little houses. So these illegal aliens that came up here, these migrant workers, had a roof over their head. Well, I'll guarantee you, there's a whole lot of veterans out there that wouldn't mind a bit in the world going out there and picking up taters to have a roof over their head and 3 hots and a cot. A whole bunch of them. Crying shame is, can't get none of them past the drug test. It's a crying shame. Folks, we got to lead, we got to follow, or get out of the way. We got 27 million people last week said that they went hungry. 27 million Americans said that last week, at one time or another during the week, they did not have enough to eat. Our government has 1.5 billion, that billion with a B, 1.5 billion pounds of that government cheese in a stockpile. Those of you old enough to remember, like I am, the folks that drew food stamps would get some government cheese. They get a 5-pound block of white cheddar. Oh, that was some good cheese too. Me and my wife was on food stamps when we was going to college. Whew, that was good cheese. But I think around 1990 they stopped it, or 1995, and just kept stockpiling it. They said, well, in case of a war, we need this food. In case of a war, whew, I reckon that cheese will stop you up enough that you stay full all the time, huh? Well, folks, I've ranted and raved enough. But as this Christmas season comes upon us, and I say Merry Christmas, I don't say Happy Holidays. I say Merry Christmas, and I say Happy New Year. I'm sure 2021 is going to have to be better than 2020. But I wish for each and every one of you a very safe Christmas and a very safe New Year's. And remember, don't drink and drive. And be careful out there, because accidents can cause people. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody.